So sorry. Sorry about that. I literally got an important phone call while I was live, so I had to go. So I'm back. Okay, so I'm off my soapbox. I really hope that something that I said earlier resonated. So let's just go back to the reason why I'm making this video to begin with. So it's evident and obvious that there's a population of people that think that when bad things happen, it's God's fault. That they blame God, that they look to God, or maybe not look to God, don't like God, don't want to have anything to do with Him. Cool. So I just want to bring some perspective to this conversation. So I have been studying Joseph Murphy, and I've been studying Joseph Murphy for a couple of, probably all this year, honestly. And, Joseph Murphy, for the most part, I've been studying Joseph Murphy for his prosperity and abundance teaching and things of that nature. But this morning, when I was studying, I ran across something that made me, urged me, and felt like I needed to speak about this. So he was actually talking about excuse me, he was actually talking about a CEO or someone who wanted to be a CEO. And he felt like he was being overlooked for a top position or whatever. And so he felt like he was being punished by God, with bad luck. So he went to Joseph Murphy, and this is something that Joseph Murphy said to him. But this what I'm about to read is a mindset shift. It is a different way of looking things. If you have been taught that God punishes you and God is going to strike you down, and all of these things that is taught in all different types of religion, it doesn't matter what you grew up believing or your family believe or whatever the case may be. So I'm just going to read it to you. Excuse me. The universe is always one of law and order. God, among other things, is a universal principle or law. If a man breaks a law, he will suffer accordingly. It is not a question of punishment by an angry God. On the contrary, it is an impersonal matter of cause and effect. If a man misuses the law of mind, for example, the reaction will be negative. But if he uses the law correctly, it will help, heal, and prosper him along all lines. That statement is so powerful. And I believe that you have to be of a certain mindset for you to even understand what is being said here. So basically, there are laws, there are spiritual laws. And I'm not going to go into the laws. Maybe that's a video that I will do for another day. But there are laws of this land. There's laws, there's spiritual laws, right? And so if we are breaking them, we are bringing in negativity. If we are conducting ourselves as it says by, actually, I want to read something else to you. So I don't even want to go into my own words. I want to go into what it is that I learned. Now, this is about forgiveness, because I was, researching forgiveness. And this is from Joseph Murphy's book, How to Use Your Subconscious Mind. Okay. And so I'm going to read to you a further explanation, so that we can get some real understanding, and so that even years from now, even if this video pisses you off and you don't want to hear it at all, but then something happens in your own personal life or in your mind or your body or your heart, and you want to come back to this video, you can take in this information. So life plays no favorites. God is life, and this life principle is flowing through you this moment. God loves to express himself. Now pay attention to this. God loves to express himself as harmony, peace, beauty, joy, and abundance through you. This is called the will of God, or the tendency of life. If you set up resistance in your mind, if you set up resistance in your mind to the flow of life through you, this emotional congestion will get snarled up in your subconscious mind and cause all kinds of negative conditions. God has nothing to do with the unhappy and chaotic conditions of the world. Man's negative and destructive thinking brings about all of these conditions. Just that alone is powerful. Basically, we are bringing these things on ourselves. And I think, what did he say? This emotional congestion will get snarled up in your subconscious mind and cause all kinds of negative conditions. Now, I know that we all want to walk around like we've never done anything in the world, like we haven't made any mistakes, that we haven't said things out of our mouth that could have brought up negative conditions. Because I know that, at some point, all of us want to act like we're perfect, but we're not. And so in the Bible, it says thoughts are things. And I believe, is it Florence Scovel Shinn has a book called Your Word is Your Wand. The words that we speak, and also the actions and the things that we do, speak to what is coming back to us. Whatever we put out is coming back. Whatever we put out is coming back. Whatever we put out is coming back, whether you want to believe that or not. I'm going to continue to read. Okay, so man's negative and destructive thinking brings about all these conditions. Therefore, it is silly to blame God for your troubles or sickness. Many persons habitually set up mental resistance to the flow of life by accusing and reproaching God for the sin, sickness, and suffering of mankind. Others cast blame on God for their pains, aches, loss of loved ones, personal tragedies, and accidents. They are angry at God and they believe he is responsible for their misery. As long as people entertain such negative concepts about God, they will experience the automatic negative reactions from their subconscious minds. Actually, such people do not know that they are even punishing themselves. They must see the truth, find release, and give up all condemnation, resentment, and anger against anyone or any power outside of themselves. All right, I'm going to go on. Otherwise, they cannot go forward into a healthy, happy, and creative activity. The minute these people entertain a God of love in their minds and hearts, and they believe that God is their loving Father who watches over them, who cares for them, guides them, and sustains and strengthens them, this concept and belief about God or the life principle will be accepted by their subconscious mind, and they will find themselves blessed in countless ways. I know that a lot of this is really hard to swallow, and it could feel like a totally second language, literally, because none of this is anything that we were ever taught. But I would implore you, anyone that is listening and watching this video, to take the words that I have said to heart and to think about the words and your actions. Think about your words, not anyone else's words, your words and your actions in this lifetime, your words and your actions today, your words and your actions yesterday, and take them very, very, very seriously, because the law of attraction is real. That's why it's called the law of attraction. But there's not just one law, there's lots of laws that we are breaking every single solitary day. And then, just like when you break the law out here in the world, right? You get arrested, you go to jail, whatever happens, right? You get a ticket, whatever, right? It's the same thing. It's just spiritual. So, yes, God is not the reason for all of these things. We are bringing these things on ourselves because of the words that we speak, the actions that we take. What does it say? Let me go back up here. Man's negative and destructive thinking brings about these conditions. Just marinate on that sentence right there and see whether or not you would want to bring anything else negative into your life. If you don't want to bring anything else negative into your life, you're going to speak life, right? You're not going to speak death. You're not going to speak negativity. You're going to try to stop, well, not try to stop. You're going to stop gossiping about people. You're going to stop talking about all of these things that don't bring any good. They're not for your greatest or highest good in your life. They're not worth your time. What is worth our time right now is for us to love each other, for us to care about each other, for us to be there for each other. We have serious things that are taking place right now. I mean, right now, Europe is on fire. They've never seen this type of weather in Europe. I think, what did I see? Sri Lanka, they were kicking their president out or what? There's so many things going on. New York announced or had an ad about if there's a nuclear attack, like there's real stuff going on in the world. And unfortunately, a lot of us are, a lot of us right now are upset about Roe versus Wade. I saw the other day where they're making birth control illegal. I mean, there's important things that are taking place, but we're like this. And then all of a sudden, one day something happens and we're like, oh my God. Yeah, because we need to stop being so distracted and we need to start paying attention, loving on ourselves, loving on other people, and having a strong foundation somewhere where you can get your direction, where you can get your forgiveness, where you can get your love from. And so therefore you can pour out that love to other people. I wanted to state this information because it's valid. It's very valid. And it unfortunately is not something that we have been taught. So therefore, what in the world just happened? So therefore, we are kind of scrambling along in this thing called life. And so I wanted to share this information because I think it's relevant, especially if you're someone who wants to build a relationship with God. This information is very important for you to know that there needs to be a shift so that you can actually embrace that relationship with God and not question it and not wonder and not have all of these, you know what I mean? Because having a relationship with God is an inside job. And there are a lot of things that we might need to unlearn so that we can learn. There might be a lot of things that we need to get rid of so that we can embrace the ultimate power that we have in a higher power. So I am going to leave it there. I don't really want to talk too much. I really just want to read the facts of what it is that I have been studying. And so I believe this is chapter 17 in the book, How to Use Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And I believe that the chapter 17 is about forgiveness. And forgiveness is another powerful subject that I could go on and on about. But yeah, I just really wanted to share this information and pray that is helpful to someone. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me. I appreciate it. I'll see you again tomorrow. Okay, so let's see.